Hello, my Style Squad angels. What's up? Welcome back to my channel. And to anyone that is new here, hello, my name is Christy. I'm a personal stylist that helps women rise through style, and I'm super excited to have you here. Today, I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about confidence. This is something that I feel is so important for anybody, but especially important for women. We are notorious for beating ourselves up. We are notorious for just being really hard on ourselves in general. And I wanted to talk a little bit about confidence today because of that, and 5 ways that I feel that you can help build your confidence so you're just feeling more certain with who you are and are just feeling happier as a result. Now, there are many ways to build your confidence. These are just my personal opinion and things that I think are helpful when you are trying to raise your confidence and self-esteem. So let's dive in. Now, the first tip I have when building your self-confidence is to learn something new. When you are learning a new skill, when you've discovered a new hobby, when you're learning just about a new topic, getting that knowledge and just expanding our horizons can often feel really exciting and just boost our self-confidence because we are expanding our knowledge. This is where it can be really interesting to dive into a class, whether that's in person or online, or maybe you're just doing a self-study on your own. You're trying to discover something about a new topic, or maybe you want to learn a new language, or maybe you're learning how to cook something or how to style yourself. Whatever it may be, getting really interested in learning something new always makes you feel good. You're getting that fresh knowledge, and it builds your confidence because you are learning and expanding your mind. And as they say, knowledge equals power. Build confidence because you're getting clarity around something that you didn't know much about before. We say too that as we age, the more you keep your mind busy and interested in new possibilities and new ideas, the younger it makes you feel. And I think that's just partly because, again, learning makes you feel good, right? It keeps you young, it keeps you on your toes, it keeps you fresh. It's never a bad thing, and it'll always boost your confidence as a result. Second tip I have for building your confidence is to keep promises to yourself. Now, I feel like this doesn't get talked about a lot with confidence, but it's something in particular that I really believe strongly in. I feel like when you keep promises to yourself, when you've made a commitment to do something and you actually follow through on that, it makes you feel good. You've increased your internal self-worth because you know you are a person that wants to follow through and does actually follow through on something you say that you're going to commit to. So maybe this is an exercise regime. Maybe it's that you want to eat healthier. Maybe it's that you want to cancel plans less. Maybe it's that you want to pursue a new dream, or maybe it's that you want to learn a language, or I don't know, maybe it's just a personal development thing, right? But when you keep those small promises to yourself, when you follow through on something that you say you're going to do, it's a feel-good thing. You know that you're a person that will follow through, so that when you go to make future commitments or future promises, right, or you assign yourself a certain task that you want to follow through on, your first internal mindset is not going to be, oh, well, what's the point in getting started because you'll never finish it. Or, I think all of us have had that thing that we kind of rotate over in our mind, sometimes thinking like, oh, what's the point of starting because you never follow through, you never finish, this is too hard, you'll never figure it out, whatever XYZ filler may go in there, because I think we've all been there before, right? I know I certainly have, especially with like my fitness journey, because I start off and on again. And every time I don't follow through on that commitment to myself, I can feel my negative self-talk creep in. And because it's creeping in, it affects my self-confidence with things. So this is something I've actively been working on, and I try and make sure that I'm constantly re-engaging in that goal and that activity, because every time I do follow through, every time I do make it to the gym, for example, or I do get out for a run or whatever XYZ thing around that goal, I always feel so much better and I feel proud of myself, and then it makes my self-confidence rise as a result. It's okay if you've done something before and maybe you haven't followed through, like me with the exercise, let's say, for example, but don't give up. You will get there, and just know that, again, and this is something I remind myself of, that every time you keep your word, you're going to feel so fantastic and so much more confident going through your day. The third tip that'll probably come as no shock to you in building your confidence is to wear something that makes you feel good. Now, I always talk to my clients about this. All of you have probably heard this ad nauseum on my channel, but it is not about the clothing. It is how the clothing makes you feel. There are so many studies that show the impact of style and the impact of image that it has both in our professional life and in our personal. And when you're wearing something that makes you feel on, that makes you feel powerful, that just makes you feel good when you look in the mirror, it not only builds your self-confidence, but you just go and interact differently in the world throughout the day. When you're wearing something that makes you feel good, it's proven that you will make eye contact more, right? Because if you think about, I don't know, let's say you throw on sweatpants and your hair is a mess and you have no makeup on and you just feel like garbage, but you're like, oh, I'm going to just run a quick errand, like no one's going to see me, right? You run out the door and you make less eye contact because you don't want to see or run into someone that you know because you feel like you look like garbage, right? So it just makes your world and your body posture, everything, like you just get smaller as a result, right? Whereas when you're wearing something that makes you feel gorgeous, you feel expansive, you stand taller, you make eye contact, you smile more. Your whole vibe and energy just expands to one of more limitless possibilities, and your confidence raises 1,000% because of it. So always keep things in your closet that make you feel good. Anything that makes you feel small or less than, get rid of it. You deserve better. The next tip on how to boost your confidence is to surround yourself with positive influences. This will probably go as no shock. I feel like people have talked about this before, but it's one that really goes underrated. I feel like a lot of people are kind of like, yeah, I know, and then they don't do it. It's so amazing what a difference it makes when you surround yourself with positive people, positive influences, just positivity in general. If you're around people that complain a lot, if you are around people that are negative, if you're around negative social media, and like stuff where people are just in this negative mindset or hamster wheel all the time, it really brings down your mood. I know even for me, if I hang around people that are kind of low vibe, I feel so exhausted after I've hung out with them, or if I'm like reading a feed, let's say on social media, that's really negative. Again, it feels really weighted for me. I always feel drained after I do it, and it makes me feel like crap as well. And your confidence isn't going to be boosted from being around energy suckers all the time. Not only that, but when you start hanging around really negative people, or if you're absorbing negative media, whatever that may be, oftentimes it can start your own negative self-talk. You just start viewing the world a little differently, and you start viewing yourself differently as well. And that's when that horrible self-talk can creep in. So you start saying your things to yourself in the mirror. You start saying more negative things to yourself when you're completing tasks or doing a hobby or trying to achieve your goals. It never creates a positive result. This was something, again, and I think most people can relate, where it really took some time for me to have this sink in, even into my personal life with friends. It really took me a long time to know that, okay, if someone is an energy drain, or they complain a lot, or they're always angry about something, like get those people out of your life, right? Because they make you feel lousy. They do nothing for your confidence, and it's where you feel the most judged in your life. So nowadays, I'm unapologetic about who I do hang out with. I'm unapologetic about where I spend my time on social media and who I follow and who I mute. Like all of that stuff is curated in a way to make me feel good, because that is my social feed. That's my personal life. I want to make sure that I'm uplifted and inspired and motivated when I'm consuming media or when I'm around loved ones. I know it can be harder too if you have maybe family that is negative. That's a little harder to combat, but that may be where it might be worthy of a conversation, or an area where maybe sometimes you have to distance yourself a little bit. But getting those feel-good people in your life, getting that feel-good social media feed, getting just feel-good vibes in general, and surrounding yourself with that, maybe even it's even feel-good music, is always going to boost your confidence, because you're going to be supported and surrounded by loving and good vibes and energy. And the fifth and final tip that I want to give today in terms of boosting your confidence is to treat yourself well. Now, I feel like this can go under a larger or encompass a lot when I talk about this, but this can go from anything from getting enough sleep, drinking water, eating healthy foods, working out, saying beautiful things to yourself when you look in the mirror, or when you complete tasks during the day. I feel like as we go through our day with tasks especially, we know to celebrate the major milestones that we go through in life, but then all the little things that you complete during the day, looking after your kids, getting the house clean, doing your chores, doing laundry, just getting your to-do list even done, no matter how minor or small those tasks may have been. Those are worth celebrating. Honor yourself, celebrate the little things in your life. You can write a celebration list if you want on a day-to-day basis, just to show yourself how much you've gotten done and completed, right? To really look at how much you are looking after on a daily basis, because we all do. We leave busy, crazy lives, and we take on a lot. So rather than focusing on like, oh, I never got to this today, or, I didn't do XYZ thing, focus on that celebration list. What did you complete today? What did make you feel fabulous? What did you get done? Because you obviously took care of something. That is going to make you feel so good. Of course, the things that we consume that I mentioned, like what you eat, water, again, this can go down to the social media stuff and in terms of what you're consuming. But again, making sure that you're treating yourself well will always boost your confidence. It will make you feel really, really good, especially the self-talk. Again, watch what you say in the mirror. Watch how you talk to yourself during the day. If you catch yourself saying something negative, I know for me, if I ever go down that tunnel with something, because all of us have been there, if I hear myself saying something negative, I physically say stop, and then I say delete. Which, I mean, it could sound crazy. Maybe that sounds crazy to some of you, but I feel like it works. And I know to catch myself with that and reprogram that in a way that's going to override whatever I may have just said to myself, because I want to feel good about who I am and the uniqueness I bring to this world, just like all of you do the same thing. My angels, that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that little red subscribe button down below. And other than that, my angels, I love you to the moon and back, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye, guys.